All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wildlife Wednesdays. I'm Dayron Shavers. I'm happy to be able to provide this for you. So, as we know at this point in time, it is currently October 9th of 2024. With that in mind, there's also a lot going on in nature, as always, right? So, it's something to think about. Nature's always moving, right? And a lot of times you can pay attention to it or not, but nature's still going to do its thing. So that's something for us to remember. Before we start off, let's take a deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. Nice. So we're going to start off with a tip and a quote that can really help you out no matter where you are in your day, in your life, is this. Is that always remember that nature has a way of placing us where we need to be. Again, nature has a way of placing us where we need to be. What does that mean? You ever heard the term of being in the right place at the right time? Prime example. So many times in traveling to different conferences or events, many times there were weather delays, whether for the flight, whether for the drive, different occasions. And I used to think to myself, man, this is really gonna set me back. This is really going to, halt my progress, right? Trying to get somewhere that I had on my schedule, and now, with whether it was a thunderstorm, right, a snowstorm, a heat wave, right, all of these things within nature. And I used to get down on myself then. However, after going through those situations and overcoming those obstacles, within that process and afterwards, I realized that, okay, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So, though I may have had a delayed flight, I got exactly to where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there. And with that, you never know who you'll meet, right? A delayed flight, you might have to change your flight time, may actually lead you to meet somebody who's going to help you in their life, or you can help them in their life. Could lead you to an opportunity. You could have a conversation with someone that has an amazing opportunity, and they're looking for someone just like you in order to make that happen. And you could be looking for someone just like them that they can help make it happen. So then you work together, right? So this is, think of like a joint partnership. This happens in nature as well, right? Many birds may perch or put themselves on many grazing animals, animals that eat grass, right, or vegetation. And the birds are able to feast on, the insects. So they're able to get food. And in turn, the actual animal doesn't have to worry about so much of bites, could help prevent disease. So this is a partnership in nature. So going back to what we talked about, how nature can put us in places of where we're supposed to be. It's a prime example. Could help you meet a friend. Could put you in a situation where you're able to help someone in need. So again, nature has a way of placing us exactly where we're supposed to be. All right. Now, as we go into the news, into the nature field, what's going on? So currently, we have Hurricane Milton, which is right now finest in North America, around the Gulf Coast, maybe parts of Central America as well. It's mainly in the coast, Gulf of Mexico. And right now, it's moving about northeast to eastward, direction-wise. It's actually looking to actually make landfall in Florida, possibly today or tomorrow. Now, it's currently a Category 4, which hurricanes are classified into what we call the Saffir-Simpson scale. So it has 5 categories, and each category is divided into the wind speed. The higher the wind speed, the higher the category, the more damage can be done. So currently it's at a Category 4, right? And supposedly, according to many sources, it's actually supposed to get down to a Category 3, which would still cause damage, of course. And currently there's an evacuation call going on in many parts of Florida. So supposedly one of the main cities that can currently be in what we call the eye of the storm, the hurricane, good form, is Tampa. So there's currently evacuation orders for people to leave. So what's some of the things? If you're seeing this and you're there, please find a way to shelter and evacuate. Do what you really can in this situation. All right. So with that, I want to break down a little bit into some of the things that make a hurricane, right? And we call some of the basic ingredients of a hurricane. It usually starts in a large body of water, right? So Gulf, the ocean, you get it right. And usually the ocean surface's temperature gets higher than about 27 degrees Celsius. So you have a mixture. So keep in mind that hot air rises, low air sinks. So the low pressure, or the low air pressure is, begins to spin horizontally. Again, as this is happening, the hot air is rising. You usually have rain clouds, and over time, it begins to spiral. But this is nature at work. And as it begins to spiral, it begins to move in a direction. Now, what determines the direction is a good question. It begins to move, right? And as it begins to go, many times it becomes stronger. That's where we have the categories. And in some instances, this is what we call the Fujiwara effect. Many hurricanes can actually combine to become stronger. So if there's two hurricanes, right, in close proximity, close to each other, they can actually combine. So we'll say if there's a category 2 and a category 3 hurricane, right, miles within each other, they can actually combine and possibly remain a 3 or rise to a 4. It's nature we're talking about. Something to think about. And with hurricanes, different weather can happen, right? Cause tornadoes, which in Florida, actually several have been reported. So not only do you have to worry about hurricane damage, strong wind, rain, storm, you also have tornadoes that can take place. Many storm surges can happen within the area, within the radius of the actual hurricane. So that's a lot. So this is one of the reasons that the evacuation call was ordered. And according to many meteorologists, this could possibly be the strongest hurricane in Florida in the past century, 100 years. Now, of course, according to data, speculation, nothing is certain. Certainly hope that it doesn't reach that for the fact that many people are still there. So I just want to provide the information. Be sure to research on your own and check it out. So our hearts go out to those in the affected areas. Now, we're actually going to transition to our animal of the day. What's the animal of the day? An amazing one indeed. The elephant. Now, elephants indeed are very majestic, very powerful, and yet actually being close to one can actually sense like the wisdom that they carry. In many indigenous cultures, they're looked at as a symbol of strength, wisdom, nobility. They are respected. Some cultures may be actually looked at as deities. In the Hindu culture, the actual deity Ganesh as the head of the elephant. Look it up. And it actually represents the wisdom to push through obstacles. So as we're circling back to our elephant, keep in mind the wisdom that they have. Very beautiful. And there's three species, yet two types of elephants right now. Throughout history, many say that they derive from the woolly mammoth. That's another type of topic, and we'll get to that. So right now we have the Asian elephant and we have the African elephant. So the African elephant usually have larger ears, and their ears are a type of ventilation, kind of like their own personal fan. So just think, elephants out in Africa, right? A lot of times are out in the open sun. So to keep themselves cool, they use their ears to fan themselves off. They also use their trunk as a type of fountain. So actually they'll go to a body of water, use their trunk, right, draw up water, and then actually will spray themselves. And this helps to keep them cool. So when they do this, they actually have, as I said, imagine spraying water on themselves and then actually cooling off or fanning themselves with their ear. But to me, this is amazing that whether they have evolved or it's how they originally are, that they're able to do this, have their own ventilation system. How many of us use fans or, you know, uh, cooling systems in our home? They have their own natural way built in. Pretty dope. Now, the Asian elephant gets around 8,800 pounds, whereas we have the African elephant. One is the African bush elephant, and one is the African forest elephant. Obviously, the African forest elephant spends more time in forested regions. So, the African bush elephant, you get anywhere between 6,000 to over 12,000 pounds. Same as African forest elephant, between 6,000 to over 12,000 pounds. Now, this is huge. Right? So, if you ever heard the term of, charging bull elephant, which the bull are the males, pretty much when elephants come, they're coming with some speed and adrenaline. The best thing will be to get out of the way, right? Usually when elephants go to the water holes, right, to whether it's a pond, a lake, something to drink water, if animals are in the way, they'll get out of the way. Now you have a herd of elephants. I'm talking about 12,000 pounds coming. It might be a smart idea, right? So this just shows again, like the wisdom, the strength, and nobility that many indigenous cultures view them as, and how they're actually perceived in nature. Now you see, and they actually run by a matriarch. Nature and organization. And it's funny because within nature, it's like they have their own way of showing each other respect. Right? As I said, the elephant comes to the watering hole. A herd of elephants are moving towards a direction. They're moving. Many predators will move out of the way. Now they'll go for, of course, try to go for the little ones. The calves are, the sick and injured elephants, as in many cases. However, a herd of healthy elephants, that actually band together and works together, nah, you better go somewhere else and try. So this is the way of the elephant, how they demand respect in their environment. Interesting, right? So remember, the elephant is a very wise and strong animal, also known as a gentle giant. However, probably not a good idea to anger an elephant or stand in the way of a charging herd of elephants. Hold on to that information. All right. And just to recap, again, we went over kind of the situation with Hurricane Milton and pretty much how a hurricane, the ingredients for a hurricane. Remember, ocean surface temperature around or over 27 degrees Celsius. You have that low pressure that begins to move horizontally, kind of in a spiral direction. Then we have the hot air that actually rises, or we'll say a rain cloud. And over time that forms, formation of a hurricane. And remember that nature has a way of placing us where we need to be. And if you think about it, a hurricane, some charging elephant, do not want to stand in the way. So with that, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Wild Wednesday. Be sure to tune in for a lot more episodes coming. A lot of great content, educational opportunities. And we're just getting started. This is just the beginning. Start of the journey. A lot more. So again, be sure to tune in. Check out the Aniverse Network podcast. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Anyverse Now Enterprises, an animal health organization, is committed to fostering harmony between animals, nature, and humans. We offer a range of services, from Reiki and therapy to comprehensive education, empowering pet owners and communities to coexist in harmony. Join us in creating a world where animals, nature, and humans thrive together. Visit our website at dayronshavers.com to discover how you can be part of this transformative journey.